adapting the Last Ronin Turtles comic into a movie. Is there anything that would bring our original April O'Neil back to the Turtles?
Oh, there's
world?
lots of things that would bring her back.
What up, my fellow ninja? I'm Bionic Bruh, and what we just witnessed is actress Judith Hogue being asked about her possible return to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle franchise with the upcoming film The Last Ronin. Now, I use quotations around the word possible because by the end of this video, I think you're going to agree with me that she's back as April O'Neil. Now, this Q&A with her fans took place at GalaxyCon's Nightmare Weekend back in September 2024, and I haven't seen anyone else comment on this video, much less know that it exists. So I thought that we'd take the time together and break it down. Hey BB, who's Judith Hogue? I swear, you call yourself a Ninja Turtle fan and you don't even know who Judith Hogue is? Alright, so for those select few out there who are out of the loop, Judith Hogue is an actress that got her comeuppance in the early to late 90s and has been part of many different films and TV series to date. Her most recent works, for television at least, are her roles as Cindy Price in Big Love, a TV series which ran from 2006 to 2011, Tandy Hampton in Nashville from 2012 to 2018, and Stephanie Quinn in The Magicians from 2016 to 2020. My girlfriend made me watch Nashville. That's the only way I knew about this one. But if you were as privileged as I was to grow up in the 90s and the early 2000s, then you probably know her as Gwen Cromwell from the made-for-TV Disney film series Halloween Town. Or like a real OG, you know her from the successful independent film of 1990, which, by the way, is still garnered as the best film of the franchise.
Major League Butt Kicking is back in town! Oh yeah!
Where Judith Hogue plays sassy news reporter and friend of the Ninja Turtles, April O'Neil.
Hi!
That is the correct response if you ever run into a mutated turtle dressed as a ninja. Since the success of The Last Ronin hitting the spinner racks as a graphic novel in 2020, it's recently been put on the fast track to get the silver screen treatment. At time of recording, yes, The Last Ronin is in the development stage. Hold up. Show me that poster from IMDb one more time. No, that's not right. The bandana shouldn't be blue, it should be black like in the comics. Or at the very least, because he's the one that survived. Alright, now that we're all caught up, let's get back to the Q&A.
I can neither deny nor confirm that I would be doing it.
Now hang on just one stinking minute. Earlier you said that there are a lot of ways to bring back our original April. Now you're saying you can't tell us whether you're involved or not? Oh, that sounds like a non-disclosure agreement, which means she's met with the powers that be about possibly reprising her role as April. Again, I use possibly loosely here because we know better.
There is a lot of very exciting signs and things, but there's nothing I can say publicly.
Exciting news, huh? Alright, let's break that down. So far, I've seen 3. 1. When the studio gave wind that they were ready to develop The Last Ronin into a film, both Kevin Eastman and Tom Waltz spoke adamantly about getting Judith to reprise as April. And then there's the meeting with Kevin and the studio heads to discuss the potential of The Last Ronin film. Hey BB, who's Kevin? Oh my god, he's one half of the original team that brought TMNT to life back in 1984. He's the reason for all things Ninja Turtles. Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird. Learn them, respect them. Thirdly, the recent news from Joe Blow and comicbookmovie.com about James Wan directing the R-rated adaptation. So the hunt for the director now is part of the water cooler talk.
If you ask any of those guys, they will scream it from the rooftops that it must be me. So, it looks good.
Oh, Judith, you're just further confirming my speculations about Paramount Pictures wanting you specifically. I mean, take a petition, add my name to it. You have my signature.
And you have my bow. and my axe.
The Fellowship of Judith Hogue.
I think personally it would be a great bookend to the story.
Absolutely.
And spoiler. What? I'm pretty sure
Hold that spoiler. She just mentioned The Last Ronin being a bookend. Now, we all know what people say about assumptions, but this is where my expectations start taking over. I suspect this is going to be the conclusive story for the 90s trilogy and the 2007 CGI film. I include the 2007 film because of the Easter egg scene, where we see the keepsakes from the adventures of the 90s films, and the fact that Karai, Shredder's daughter, is introduced here, and she appears in the pages of The Last Ronin. So it makes sense. But BB, why couldn't it be a send-off to ones produced by Michael Bay? For the same reason those movie posters aren't appearing here. I don't acknowledge those films ever existed. Furthermore, Eastman and Waltz asked specifically for Judith to come back, which means theoretically, this takes place in the same movie universe as the former versus the latter films. Seriously, don't mention the Bay films here, ever. Judith, you said something about a spoiler?
I don't know if I can say it.
Yes, hell you can, Lee. Ain't nobody up here but us.
I have the same sentiment.
All right, I'll say this.
Dude, don't get in trouble.
I don't want to get in trouble. There might be more to come. There might be more to come.
Well, that was lackluster. But I understand what she means by more to come. See, after the popularity of the Last Ronin comics came two other series that act as both a prequel and sequel to the events in the comics. Those being The Lost Years and The Last Ronin Re-Evolution. Which I might do a video on afterwards. It's your call. Let me know in the comments if you think I've done my due diligence thus far. But after listening to this Q&A, all the evidence has stacked up to where I wholeheartedly believe that Judith Hogue is actually back as April O'Neil. And with this new character development for April, I would love to see Judith Hogue presented to the audience. I mean, look at the side-by-side. You can't tell me the artwork doesn't resemble Judith, or that Eastman and Waltz weren't thinking about her before the studios wanted to greenlight the film. And the new dynamics for the character are mind-boggling. She's lost everyone she's loved, outside of the Ronin and her teenage daughter. Yeah, she's a mom now. She's basically an engineer at this point, and they decide to make her an amputee, losing not only her right leg, but her left arm too. Yeah, that doesn't speak to me at all. What are you looking at? It's not polite to stare. And this time around, Judith ain't gonna be playing no bench warmer. And that's awesome. This time around, April O'Neil is a force to be reckoned with. Her story kind of reminds me of Sarah Connor's development through Terminator 1 and 2. You know, going about her day, nothing big happening. Suddenly some odd characters with bizarre backstories come into her life, and she realizes that she's now part of something huge, and she starts to change her view of the world. She adapts to these changes as a formidable opponent against the newly discovered threats along this new path.
Good morning, Dr. Silberman. How's the knee?
Take this scene, for example. Change the setting to Manhattan in New York, but this would be an older, wiser April O'Neil that is just mowing down Cybernetic Foot Ninja like a badass. You can't tell me Judith Hogue wouldn't have a field day playing this version of April. Mark my words. With the inevitable success of The Last Ronin when it finally hits theaters, there's no doubt in my mind that the sequel stories will make their appearance in other forms of media as well. Meaning, Judith Hogue will continue the role of April next to these beloved characters for years to come, having us fans young and old scream out,
God, I love being a turtle!
Well, I'm about to go put on the 1990 TMNT film for the 1000th time. Let me know in the comments if you think the Q&A from Nightmare Weekend confirms our speculations of Judith Hogue finally returning to the franchise, or if it's still up in the air. You know the camp I'm in. She's totally back.
Kawabunga.